I'm Jasmine Huda. A Gold Star father from St. Charles County is taking his message on the road, and he is going big. An 18-wheeler is going to lead the Angels of Abbey Gate ride. The Angels of Abbey Gate, a tribute to the 13 U.S. service members who were killed at the Hamid Karzai Airport in Kabul, Afghanistan in August of 2021. Among the lives lost, 20-year-old Lance Corporal Jared Schmitz of Wentzville. His father is spearheading a special ride for a very special cause. Let's welcome Mark Schmitz. He is Jared's father, as well as Greg Doolin, a U.S. Marine and Army veteran, and ambassador of this cause to honor those 13 fallen service members. Welcome to you both.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, Mark, that truck, that's going to get some attention. It's going to stand out in a great way. Tell us about this event that's coming up.
We wanted to do something a little different. And in reflection of how his homecoming went, the massive amount of outpouring of support, we wanted to almost reenact that in a tribute ride, memorial ride. So with the help of Greg here, he's been my machine, my boots on the ground, if you will, and he has done so much work on getting the message out. We're going to start down at Gold Star Harley-Davidson down in Festus. It's an 80-mile ride. There is free breakfast down there for anybody who participates while supplies last. We leave there and head up to St. Charles Harley-Davidson. There'll be a live band there. There'll also be lunch provided, again, while supplies last. And then from there, we're going to take off and head to Truesdale, which there's a place called Good Game Sports Park. That's the final stop, which ironically is where the second event, this is actually two events in one day, so the second event will start at that sports park, and it is a Joes versus Pros paintball shootout. So it's regular Joe citizens against veterans and police. So it should be an amazing, entertaining time.
This is like morning to evening is what it sounds like.
Yeah, it's going to start fresh, bright and early, 8:30 in the morning. We are wheels up at 10, and we'll be done about 5:30.
As it says there, two events in one day. Greg, tell us how this is a great way, not only to honor Jared, but all of the service members, and you can speak from experience as a veteran.
Sure. Well, obviously, before I retired, I was a first sergeant in St. Louis with the unit when Jared was brought home to rest. And then I went on another mission for a couple of years, got a hold of Mark. And as a retired first sergeant from the U.S. Army, my job was to take care of soldiers. And this was my way of continuing that mission even in a retired state from the military. So this is something that my heart.
And you've been to events honoring Jared and the other Angels of Abbey Gate. What has been the reaction that you've seen from the community?
Sure. My first pub crawl on Jared's anniversary of his birthday every year that his father has hosted, it's been great. I primarily kind of covered the Jefferson County area, and with the help of my wife, we enlisted 32 bars and restaurants in that general area to come on board with the pub crawl. So it's been amazingly positive and continuing to grow.
It's a wonderful annual event that has become a national event I've seen in other cities,
yes,
too. Mark, it's been 3 years since Jared's death. What have these last 3 years been like?
They're not easier, they're different. You know, there's not a day that goes by that I don't think about my son, and our family misses him terribly. That doesn't ever go away, and anyone who's lost a child knows that feeling. There's been no accountability thus far. We continue to fight to get answers. We've had meetings with very, very high up politicians, and Trump himself, for example, has vowed if he happens to get back into office that he's going to hold people accountable.
I remember, I think it was last maybe August or September, around a year ago, where you and the other Gold Star families were on Capitol Hill.
Yes.
Tell us about that experience, because you testified and you did not mince words.
No, I spoke with the Foreign Affairs Chairman, Michael McCall. I said my speech is raw. And he says, Mark, you say whatever the bleep you want. And you know, I was trying to be mindful of my words, but at the moment they were certainly warranted. It was an opportunity for some of the families to voice their concerns with how the investigations have been going, voice their frustrations, air out some grievances, and we weren't holding back. I mean, you've got 13 ticked-off families that still have no answers.
Demanding answers.
You know.
You're going to be back in Washington just a few days after Angels of Abbey Gate, right? So that's September 7th. And then tell us what is happening just a few days later.
On September 10th, we're going back to D.C. to the Rose Garden with Speaker of the House Johnson. He will be awarding the Congressional Gold Medal to all 13 families in honor of their children that receive this distinguished award, which is very, very limited on who gets one. So
and it's going to be, I understand, very personalized.
Yeah, each of the different Congressional Gold Medals ever awarded are minted and personalized. So I'm not positive if we're getting 13 different ones or if we're getting our 13 will obviously be different than the previous awardees. Theirs would have been minted in relation to their cause.
A congressional medal. That's got to make Greg. That's got to make you just.
Oh yeah, when Mark told me about it, I was well deserved, you know. I mean, in a respective way. So that's the way the families can carry on that legacy, and I'm glad to see that the folks in Washington D.C. recognize that.
Yeah, that's awarded by an act of Congress. That's the only way you can get one. So.
How did you find out about it?
I know that they had been working on. Well, they actually put this up for vote in Congress shortly after everything happened, and I think it was widely unanimous on a vote for yes. It's taken 3 years to get the minting process done, but the original will be housed in the Smithsonian. We are supposed to get a replica copy of the actual medal to keep with us. So.
And this is another way to honor and, of course, keep his memory alive. And that's what this event, September 7th, is all about. What are you hoping that people get out of it? And if we could show those pictures of the video of the truck and the trailer, that is something else.
Yeah, we've put a lot of time and effort in designing that layout, and very, very happy with the way it turned out. Mad Graphics out of O'Fallon was nice enough to donate all their time and effort into putting that together for us. So big shout out to them for what they do.
And it has the pictures of everyone.
Yeah.
That is, it's wonderful to anyone who's just driving past them.
Well, initially the design was 6 on one side, 7 on the other. I said, no. We need all 13 on both sides, because that way, regardless of which side of the trailer you were on, you got to see them all. So I eventually might add some QR codes and work with the families to get brief stories written about each of the kids, so that anybody who might want to learn about them can just hit the QR code and learn about it.
That's great. And we can't talk about this without talking about the Freedom 13, which recently got official nonprofit 501c3 status. This, we laughed because I know it took some time. Either of you want to tell us what the Freedom 13 is?
So the Freedom 13, our big scale mission is 50 recreational retreat camps, 50 states, so one in each state, 50,000 plus acres, and 650 houses. There'll be 13 houses for each camp. One of those houses will be reserved for a veteran to live in full-time and act as a property manager. The other 12 homes will be reserved for veterans to stay with their families, like an Airbnb. That's an old rendition there of an original property we were looking at. We are going far, far bigger. We're actually looking at 170 to 190 acres. We've got it narrowed down right now to 2 different properties.
And one for each state.
Yes, we want to finish this one here in Missouri first, and then be able to show that off to anyone who's patriotic and wants to support the veteran community, see what we're doing, and then go from there and start spreading our wings.
And Greg, your involvement with Freedom 13, I mean, it's become very personal for you.
It really has. I mean, it's not anything that I have a hard time thinking about when I get out of bed. I wake up thinking about it, and I go to sleep thinking what's the next day hold, which is kind of in my blood, being a military veteran. So it's a great organization to volunteer with, and Mark's a great leader, and he's got the vision.
The concept of providing this retreat also for families, what impact does that have on them?
Well, obviously everyone's aware of the suicide rate with soldiers, and I've seen it personally. And so it's a situation where if they can get together, the camaraderie.
And that's
Yeah.
We talk about mental health and those
exactly.
services, but we have a long way to go.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Sure.
And that number has actually gone up significantly. 22 has always been the number that everybody's used. It's much more like in the 40s now.
Wow.
For numerous reasons. And I think a big part of the increase has been because of the way things ended in Afghanistan. You got, thousands upon thousands of soldiers that served their time over there doing great things, and after 20 years, for what? I mean, the way that we ended it was disgusting. So.
And I might add, too, their family serves, so this recreational retreat is going to serve the spouses, young children, teenage children, so the activities of the retreat is going to encapsulate all of what they're looking for in bringing their family together for their new mission.
It's a powerful intergenerational experience
yes.
when you think about it, the different sides of the family coming together. Let's get the information out again about the event September 7th. It's like everything's going on that day. Saturday the 7th.
We're encouraging pre-registration.
Okay.
You can go to thefreedom13.org and go to the events section. You'll find it there. You click on that. You can purchase tickets are $10 for a driver or a rider, and it's $5 for any additional person in your party. If you were going to participate in the Joes versus Pros, that event is $50 for civilian and $40 for veteran or police. And Good Game Sports Park has provided all of the paintballs. I will be bringing my drone to. I'm not getting out there getting.
Plastered.
I'm not going up against guys.
So Greg would be a pro, and you would be a Joe.
I would definitely be a Joe.
I would definitely be a Joe or Jane.
I'm glad you said that in our company.
Well, I needed to go on the record for sure.
So good. And also, we might add, all vehicles are welcome.
Great.
This is not just motorcycles, with respect. Vans, Jeeps, cars, anything licensed. And come on down and be part of what's going to be a great festivity. We've got a lot of extra things going on.
Just the optics of it sound wonderful. Just seeing those two trucks and then hundreds and hundreds of vehicles. I think about the service when he was transported to Jefferson Barracks. That was incredible.
I think that's what this is going to look like all over.
I do
again.
too. All right. Thank you so much to Mark Schmitz and Greg Doolin. Pleasure to meet you. Straight ahead on the pulse of St. Louis.